Hello and welcome to the final episode of Chatting Shit. Sorcerer's Cup dropped last night. I'm joined today by a very poorly planned group of guests. You'll all be pleased to hear that I've remembered to turn my light on today. Chatting expletive of chatting shit. Chatting shit about the Catacomb Cup. More chatting shit today. First chatting shit of season 3. More chatting shit chatting shit about the Sunrise Cup. Chatting shit about the chatting shit about the Marsh Cup. Of chatting shit, and fifth and final episode of Marsh Cup chatting shit. Episode 1 of chatting shit about Nightfall Cup. Chatting shit about episode 4 of chatting shit. Okay, chatting shit episode 5. Okay, episode 1 of chatting shit about the Labyrinth, chatting shit about the Vortex Cup, episode 3 of chatting shit.
Welcome to Chatting Shit.
Chatting shit.
Welcome to what is going to be episode 3 of Chatting Shit.
Chatting shit.
Definitely the final chatting shit of chatting shit about the Commander Cup. Chatting shit episode 1 of chatting shit about the Venture of chatting shit about the first chatting shit. More chatting shit about the Lunar Cup. Chatting shit, and this is episode 1 of chatting shit about
To chatting shit.
We are Chatting Shit.
I'm
Chatting Shit for the Brawler Cup.
Welcome to Chatting Shit, and it is with me.
chatting shit about the Glacial Cup.
Hi guys, welcome to Chatting Shit.
Right, good evening everyone.
First chatting shit of 2022. Chatting shit about the Guardian Cup.
Chatting Shit.
Chatting Spice.
Chatting shit about the Obsidian Cup. You will notice, of course, that this is just the regular old Zoom view. Chatting shit about the Obsidian Cup. Hello and welcome to Chatting Shit about the Nemesis Cup. We've known the meta now for what, about 20 minutes? This is early even by our standards, right? I gave these guys about 10 minutes prep, so we're all just gonna pick. Go on, Stu.
I've had 90 seconds. this is
In my 10 minutes, I got my son out of the bath, quickly dried him, brushed his teeth, and chucked him in bed. And Alexa is currently reading him a Amazon story time. No story from Dad tonight, kiddo. Alexa, open Amazon story time.
Let's hope it's not an Alexa story like Phil's Alexa. Chatting Shit, episode 3 of Chatting Shit.
Chatting Shit.
Welcome to Chatting Shit.
Of Chatting Shit about the Forge Cup. Of Chatting Shit. Welcome to episode 3 of Chatting Shit. Chatting Shit.
Welcome to Chatting Shit.
Chatting Shit about the Architect Cup. Welcome to a special edition of Chatting Shit. Hello, it's been a while. So we're gonna chatting shit about the Vanguard field. Chatting shit.
Legendary former Bake Off presenter Sue Perkins.
And welcome to Chatting Shit.
The first chatting shit about the Ionic Cup.
Oh, you prick.
Hello. Welcome to episode 2 of Chatting Shit. Episode of Chatting Shit about the Polka Dot Cup. Of Chatting Shit about the Polka Dot Cup. And the one and only episode about the Innocent Cup. Joined by 3 of the people who've had the most appearances on here. Aaron, Arable, Phil, Philly Jim Bob, and of course Dan Dekachu. How's everyone feeling?
Somber.
Yeah, pretty much sums it up, right?
Yeah.
I've been listening to breakup songs for about 3 weeks. It's been pretty rough.
It was. I mean, do you know what? For us 4 here, we've dedicated a lot of time into self, in one way or another, over the last few years, and this is how we all became friends. And we've shared beers together, laughs together. It's it's a big loss for the community, and I for one will miss it. So I could say a lot of negatives. I'm sure we all can, but fundamentally, it's it's the PvP is the biggest part of Pokemon Go for me. I don't know how much I'd play the game without it.
Yeah.
So,
I've found that I've been going through the 5 stages of depression of
separation.
What's it?
Grief.
What is it? Guilt, grief. That's it, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I've been doing them backwards. Like when I first found this, I was like, you know what, fine. It was the acceptance. I've done I've had a bit of depression. I've had a bit of bartering or whatever it's called. A bit of that. Well, we could do this. We could do. And now I'm
denial.
Yeah, I've had a bit of denial. And now I'm just at anger, where I'm at the point where like I'm just going to turn the location off my phone just at all times, apart from when I have to do a PvP battle. Like, I'm at the point where I just hate Niantic so much that they're not getting a jot of fucking data, like location data. I mean, no matter how inconvenient it makes my life. Like I'll turn it off and on again whenever I need to.
I don't even think you need it on to do battles, so you might even be able to get away with just not having it on.
I'm pretty sure you do. Although the state of the game, like even if you don't need it on, like what's like, could you imagine? Yeah.
Do you think it's Niantic's fault?
I think Niantic could have stopped it if they wanted to.
I don't think they've helped, but I don't think it's Niantic's fault.
No, I don't think it. I think it's a category.
I think there's a category of things that have contributed to this.
Yeah.
I think maybe there was an over-reliance on Niantic and what they brought to the table, which I don't know how Sylph ended up with that over-reliance, because Sylph was never about Niantic. It was always about the community. And I think a bit of forward thinking, forward planning might not have been in this situation, but then again, things I know from you, you know what I mean? I know that Sylph was much more complex than people ever gave it credit for. There was a lot of stuff in the background that no one ever saw and realised how much work and hard, effort that went into it, the people who did it.
And I get the impression that when Sylph was started, they never thought it would get as big as it's become, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it can't have been easy to go forward. But yeah, no, I agree. I don't blame solely on Niantic's door. I just think if they'd have wanted to, they could have stopped it. And then their whole communication afterwards about being appreciative of all the work Sylph's done, it just that rubbed me up the wrong way, sort of thing. It's just like, well,
done all the hard work for him.
Yeah, exactly.
Knocking someone out and then saying, you were a great competitor, and yeah, if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be as good as I am. Yeah, all right. Fuck off, dickhead.
No. But anyway, Innocent Cup. I think. Well, I'll come to you guys to ask what you think about the cup generally, but I think it's a really nice one to end on. I think there's so much fun stuff, and I think it's. I've just finished writing the dev notes for the site, and it's and as I said that, like, in what PvP world we're following Sylph going in there, will you see Jumpluff, Dedenne, and Seaking, like top ones? Like, it's just fun, and I think this is fun. That's my overriding.
I mean, add into that, when was the last time you saw Swellow in the top anything of a Sylph meta?
Never.
It's what, 8?
Yeah.
Ridiculous that. It does look really fun. It looks like Naiad is probably my favourite meta so far this season, and I think this threatens that, because it's like Naiad but even better.
Which is weird because it's a charm meta.
When
I first saw this, when it was first launched, and
there's kind of a square of RPS, isn't there?
I looked at it and thought, oh, charm, this is going to be rubbish. And now we're at it, and then knowing what we know in the final meta, I'm actually looking at it going, this could be really fun. People are going to actually, there's so much variance there that you can play about with it. Aaron just said Dedenne, but there are others that fit that mold, and there's going to be some great fun. I'm sure we're going to talk about a lot of them tonight.
Well, what do you reckon the RPS here is, Phil?
So correct me if I'm wrong. So you've got furries, no steals. I don't think there's any firemons in there, is there?
No, steel, fairy, and poison. Steel, fire, and poison are banned apart from the 4.
Apart from the 4 poison types that you're throwing at us, right? Okay, so everyone's forced to look at those 4. Right, what's going to beat those 4 poisons? Where's the psychic? Where's the psychic lot? And what have we got for psychic? If there's no dark types.
There are a few darks.
A few darks.
A few dark moves.
Not mandibles, but Volibee.
Yeah.
Wireless Guzzlord.
See, I don't have one. What's all this about Sylph saying, oh, not everyone has them, and I've not got a Great League Guzzlord.
There was an event.
Oh, yes, I do.
Got one.
Yes, I do.
But also, Phil, there's Mud Boys, which you know about as much as anyone that are there that can be.
Yeah, so that then weakens your poison lot. So yeah, it's one of those, isn't it? It's like there's going to be a variety of ABB lines or ABA lines, and just how people see it. But yes, Mud Boys. Do you want me to go?
Yeah, why not? Yeah, why not?
It wasn't quite the first one I ever picked. Yes, there is a Charmer that I'm a big fan of, Wigglytuff. No, I'm not picking that. It has to be my boy. Has to be Quag.
Okay, next number.
I've not looked this up, Dan. I'm sorry, mate. I know you're here, but I've forgotten. I'm just sorry to practice. Go on, Dan. What is it?
I don't know off the top of my head.
You see? But yeah, I think it'll do well. A lot of frail mons, which won't like taking either a Stone Edge or an Earthquake. Resisting your poison jabs from Seeking. Yeah.
So why Quag? Other than because he's got a great face, why Quag? Why Quag over Swampert or Whiscash? Because I've got to admit, I mean, the brief team building that I've done here, I think Whiscash is my favourite Mudboy, to be honest. Here, but why Quag?
Why not all three?
Well, why not? I mean, I will say that before I changed my mind to pick what I'm going to pick, I was going to talk about Celebi, but
right, okay. So what other Grossmans you got? Jumpluff,
Tropius, Alolan, Exeggutor.
of course he's in there. Did you have something to do with that?
Yeah, I did have something to do with this. Yeah.
Eggy the Punisher, he had to be there in the final method.
Well, there's no shadows allowed, so Eggy the Punisher can't make his way. But yeah, Whimsicott, as Dan said, yeah.
Do you know why I think Quag over the others? So I think Pokédex number 195 over.
There we go. Thank you.
Over the other Mud Boys is the Stone Edge. That's why I think it has. I think you've got enough flyers here that it's cheaper to get to than a Blizzard, and yeah, it's not going to do as much damage, but then you start building up and it's harder to swap into. So I think the Stone Edge for hitting the Jumpluff or hitting potential Zapdoses and things like that, Tropiuses and stuff, that could be a nice little bonus there, as your Mud Boy really. In this cup, you're sort of looking at it to do the damage against the poison, so you're looking at the Mud Bombs, which an Earthquake is. It's a good move. It'll do enough.
Well, that's why I think Whiscash though, because you're doing actual Mud Bombs, and then you're also doing Blizzard.
I think the problem with Stone Edge is that it won't one-shot most of the flyers people are going to pick. Yeah. You'll one-shot Zapdos, probably Swellow, but you won't one-shot Gliscor, Gligar, Tropius, Jumpluff, Drifblim. They're going to be the main ones, right? They're all in like the top 20. And I think one-shotting 2 of the potential 6 to 7 isn't good enough. I think Blizzard will definitely obviously one-shot. If you get to it against the stuff that are... Because you're going to get one-shot by Grass anyway. So if you get ahead with Whiscash against Tropius or Jumpluff, you're going to...
At least you're throwing that one shield, yeah.
You're going to take one shield. You're not going to take it with Quag. They will just tank it and they will farm right up and then one-shot you.
Okay, well, what about using Acid Spray?
Acid Spray Stone Edge.
helping that Mudshot is going to be amazing.
No, I just meant maybe Acid Spray Earthquake. Looking at it, because then your main fairies, you're going to be hitting them with something. So,
Sludge Bomb.
Yeah, Sludge would probably be the way to go, right?
Yeah, maybe Sludge Bomb then.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking you're already, so you did NAs and things like that, you're hitting anyway, just naturally.
Yeah.
But then if somebody brings in like a Whimsicott or what's the other one, Florgus or whatever it is, or a stupid one that looks like it should be grass but it's not. You want something to hit that with, and that's where the Sludge Bomb, or as I said, even an Acid Spray as a bit of a bait, you know what I mean, might come into play.
I think Sludge Bomb's a shout. Really, what you need Earthquake for here? You're beating naturally, like you're beating your poisons naturally with just Stone Edge.
Really. Stone Edge, yeah.
Go through resistance.
Yeah.
I like the fact that Matt's now twisted round. He's like,
That's a shout. And I'll tell you what else I do like about Quag as well, is that I believe out of all the Mud Boys, it has the best Hypno matchup. I believe.
Yeah.
And Hypno's going to be a menace to deal with here.
Hypno destroys Whiscash from what I remember, because you can always stay you can always throw after them, and even if they blizzard you, you're kind of okay.
And Swampert needs to land an Earthquake, which is kind of tricky because you never really want to go for it. If it gets shielded, it's
non-shadow, so you can probably tank 2 Hydros really easily.
Yeah. Whereas Quag, I think having the bulk and the hard hitting move it has a better metric there.
Probably needs Earthquake, but you can always leave it low and farm down with something. Fairy Wind does no damage to most things anyway, so if you Fairy Winding something down, if you know they've got Thunder Punch, Shadow Ball or something like that, Jumpluff can easily farm that down if you leave them low.
Do you think Shadow Ball on Hypno is going to be a thing though? Because I was thinking it was going to be Double Punch.
I think how you're dealing with ghosts, if we're saying Hypno is going to be a menace, people will bring ghosts.
Do you not think they're going to be using something else for ghosts? And your main ghost is Drifblim here, isn't it? So
there's also Jelly as well. Yeah. They're both very good.
I think Shadow Balls. I've looked at Hypno, and again, whenever I look at Hypno, I always look at Psyshock as well. I think Shadow Ball 100% has to come.
It's the best nuke in the game. Coverage, it's across so many mons. It's DP is ridiculously good. I think
what types are in Innocent? Vullaby and
Zweilous, Guzzlord, Honchkrow, Vullaby, and then after that you're looking at crazy things like Hydreigon.
Does it need to be Ice Punch then?
I don't think so. I think Thunder Punch.
I think there's an argument for Ice Punch if you want to.
I'm just thinking Zweilous, because Zweilous is going to resist everything there otherwise.
I think he's in Focus Blast or Ice Punch, right? But
now we're talking.
And given Jumpluff's ranking, I think a lot of people will run it. And I mean, I ran Ice Punch on something in the draft we did, and a Jumpluff safe swapped in, and it's just gone. You shot that thing.
Do you think Jumpluff will be that big? I mean, with it being the last month in Sylph and everybody having used Jumpluff this month?
Yes, Dan. People people are creatures of habit. I know we're not, but some people are creatures of habit.
Because I've got to be honest, I've not anything that I'd sort of used this month. I was like, no, I'm not using that again next month in Innocent. I'm just not even touching it. I think I had a Tyrant in my original team build, and I was like, no, get rid of that. Get rid of that.
Tyrant's been really fun. I've hated the meta, but it's been fun. But I think people will win Jumpluff 100%. I think you've got the Bolt, you've got your Fairy Wind Ferret, which charges quick. You've got 2 really good nuke moves, which I don't think can be walled here. I don't think Grass and Flying is walled by anything. So yeah,
Emolga is probably about it.
Does Zapdos live 2 moves from?
Well, that's the issue, right? Isn't it? That's the issue.
Zapdos doesn't live 2 coughs.
But yeah, I mean, they're the 2,
There's
right?
something unsettling though. You say Jumpluff's really good and everything here, and when I've looked at the meta, how can you like a grass type that loses to the main water type?
Yeah.
In this meta, Seaking beats Jumpluff, and it's a water type, but that Poison Jab and the Icy Wind.
Yeah.
And if you haven't got a Legacy Seaking by this point, well, you've really missed the point of Sylph these years. I've got to be honest. You've really missed the boat. Because that thing's no good in play Pokemon.
It's not.
I really don't think it is right
No.
now.
I mean, maybe in like a week when we get the move updates. That's another thing that's going to shake this meta up. The move updates, if they do go after certain moves, we'll see.
Charm boost.
Not a
No,
ball
I
moment.
have no idea. But yeah, that's
Aaron,
what I
you think
about
it's linked to how there's a connection to Pokemon Home for Scarlet and Violet? Do you think there's a connection for that?
I don't think so. No.
No.
I think obviously we'll see when it happens.
Right.
Assuming we'll get what in the next week, if that. I mean, it's got next weekend that the leagues switch over.
Yeah.
And you've got
Jake was getting quite excited thinking about like Shadow Claw for like Ursulana and Counter on Sneasler and all sorts of bonker ideas.
You could do anything. I think given the way the meta's been across, Open Great League, they're gonna have to shake it up, or they're gonna go with the stupid excuse of, "Oh, Worlds is in 2 months." Who cares? If you're not good enough to learn the meta in that amount of time, you shouldn't be playing at Worlds. You could learn it in 2 weeks within reason, depending on how much they change. So,
especially if Great League's going to be in GBL. Yeah, you don't sleep.
If I was working 9 to 5, you could do 2 hours a day and you could learn it. It's not that. It's not all that. You just learn. Like, they're only going to introduce a few new moves, maybe a nerf here or there. They'll probably go after Noctowl somehow.
Give Como Bone Best. And,
but yeah, add one move that does nothing but is still a cool addition, and then add a lot of random nukes. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we'll see. If they go after something like Shadow Ball, I wouldn't be surprised, given it's really good, like we've said. If they do go after it, this meta's going to shift, though, because Hypno instantly becomes slightly worse. Then you might see Double Punch.
Yeah, Jelly and Drippling too as well.
Yeah. I don't think Jelly desperately needs the Shadow Ball damage, given it's only running it for the super effective nuke, right?
Yeah.
Surf's a good move. Ice Beam's insane coverage here.
Just to bring it back to Quack. Bring it back to Quack.
Quack gets better if they nerf good things.
You never know. They could give Quack Mud Bomb just for the hell of it.
That would be brilliant.
Phil, you've spoken about Quag many, many times.
Yeah.
Chatting shit. What is your favourite Quag? Using Quag memory, what's your favourite? Well, in a month's time, when you look back and think Sil's ended, all that time you think Quag's eyes ended.
I mean, we've already skirted over it. Using Sludge Bomb on, it might have been a Whimsicott actually. So yeah, just seeing that one shot, and when they weren't expecting, it was like, yes, beautiful.
Was that in?
It's the one where you were trying to convince us all it was Marshtomp.
Prismatic. Yeah, Prismatic. I was going to say that makes sense. Yeah, how I ended up winning Marshtomp for Sludge, but I've never considered Quagsire for Sludge Bomb. That's yeah. I didn't.
Joy.
Yeah, and I never ran into a single Whimsicott either, so it was a complete waste.
How?
I know.
Weren't one of you running Water Gun, Marshtomp?
Yeah, that was me. Yeah, Water Gun.
Yeah.
Running Water Gun safe. Sludge, so I could beat.
I think I remember playing both of you and being really thrown by the fact that you both had different moves on your Marshtomp, and I was kind of like.
Yeah. Oh no. So Phil ran Quag, and I think it was Nick ran Marshtomp.
Oh no, I had a couple of teams. I had a Quag on one, and then I had a Marshtomp on the other.
Oh, right. Oh, nice. Well,
I know it was you and Phil that had played that. I knew that it was you had different moves, and I think I may have spoke to it about Phil afterwards, like,
And you said, "Oh, you're doing much better than Matthew." see, you're running the right moveset, Phil. I was like, yes, I know.
I also ran. Did I run Rock Throw? Magnet
Probo.
Bomb. Yeah, Rock Throw, Magnet Bomb Return, Probo. I wasn't walled by more price.
You just really, really hated Talonflame.
Yeah. Well, good. I'm glad to hear that there's been some good Quag memories, Phil. Although Quag's one of the ones that you can continue to use in GBL, right? I ran it for a bit with Frostlass in GBL.
It's right, isn't it? At that point,
Yeah,
it does the job of it does the general Mudboy job with a slight, nice Stone Edge coverage, right?
So to answer your question, why have I picked Quagsire? Because you told me I had to pick Quagsire.
Did I say that?
I was
you
in
said
the
Phil,
conversation.
Quagsire's still available, right? Quagsire.
It was kind of like these are the mons that are available.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
And then Dan said, "Oh, Wigglytuff." I was like, "Oh yeah, Wigglytuff." No, stay with Quag, Phil. That's how these things are organised, guys. Now that it's the last one ever, you can peer behind the curtain. This is how it's run. Matt just tells us. We don't get a chance to pick or research. He just tells us.
Well, sometimes.
No, you see, you get that. I literally, what I know is when Matt opens up the chat between us all, I get in really quick and going, "I'm doing this," and that's it.
He does. Yeah.
Literally, as soon as it appears, I'm like, "Bah!"
And what I like about your picks, Dan, is it's never something that makes me go, "Oh, that's fucking boring." Not that yours are either, Phil. But
I agree.
There are some people.
Mate, you know my level of spice is karma. You know that.
Yeah, but it's your level of spice is what this show was for. There are plenty of people who would go, "I'm going to pick Jumbluff," and I'll be like, "Really?"
Yeah.
Having looked at what all our first picks were on Chatting Shit, I'm actually like, I don't know if you remember what yours was, Aaron, but yours was Linoon. Matt's was Quillfish.
Yeah.
Phil's was Wigglytuff. And mine was Dunsparce.
That's Sorceress.
I was Sorceress. You guys were... No, it was Sorceress.
Yeah,
it
we
was
were
also...
also.
Dunsparce is much better now.
I know. I'm a man of ahead of my
Very good.
time. Honestly, I called it all that time ago. I was like, Dunsparce. And now Aaron's taking it to freaking regionals and shit like that, So...
Yeah, it's absolutely amazing at the minute. I wish they hadn't have given it to Milk Tank, then it would have been even better because they wouldn't have had to nerf rollout.
Yeah.
Dunsparce getting there in 3-3 with before the nerf is just disgusting.
With perfect coverage. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we've touched on your pick a bit, Aaron. So let's move into yours.
Yeah, so I've gone with Jellicent. I'm not sure how many times I've picked it before, but it's a fair few. But it's always good, right? We knew it was going to be when it came into the game. I think the Pokedex number's like 600, around there. Dan will definitely know. He's probably already Googled it before.
Are you going to allow this, Dan? Are you going to allow it?
I just know this is disgusting.
Googling away, you can see him.
Last ever episode.
I'd have thought you'd have all prepared for it, to be honest. I really, I'd hoped that you'd know
we're
that
just
it's
making you look better.
593.
Yeah, we're just making you look better, mate.
I knew that off by heart. I didn't, not got my phone or anything like that with it.
Yeah, but it does look really good here. You can run Surf or Ice Beam with Shadow Ball. Run Bubble Beam if you want. That bait always hurts even more. I mean, if you just want the pure Shadow Ball damage, run Bubble Beam with it. I think Ice Beam's insane coverage. I mean, you beat Jumpluff because Energy Ball doesn't kill you unless they run Bullet Seed, and no one's going to be running Bullet Seed because they'll give up the mirror. Tropius, I'm not sure on exactly, but you probably lose. But it'll be close because it's less bulky than Jumpluff, right? So you might get closer to one-shotting. You wall the poisons. You wall Seeking, give or take. Drill Run doesn't do enough with the poison jabs. So that's like the top two. Florges, you lose if you run Ice Beam, but you only just lose because Shadow Ball nearly one-shots. Whereas I think you go straight Surf and you beat it. I'd give up the Surf to almost one shot because I mean, who's running a good Florges at this point? Been in one event, two? Yeah, sure. But it's like, how good is it? And like, how much attack do you want on your Jellicent to?
Well,
you said it beats Jumpluff.
Yeah, straight Ice Beam.
Oh, you're going Ice Beam.
You
Sorry,
need Ice Beam. You need Ice Beam, yeah.
You need Ice Beam to beat Jumpluff.
Yeah, I thought you were looking at Surf, that was all.
You can run either. This is what I'm saying. If you run Ice Beam, you pick up Jump Off.
Yeah.
On the Florges matchup, I'm going to say something that's going to potentially make the Jellicent matchup
Yeah.
worse.
Vine
Because
Whip.
I quite like the look of Vine Whip on Florges here.
But then you get destroyed by Jump Off.
I mean, that's fine.
You still don't. Do you beat Sea King then?
Probably not. I don't know. I don't know. Or you know, the thing is, you could stick with Fairy Wind, and you could stick with Disarming Voice and run Petal Blizzard. Like, there's no real need for any of those 3 nukes on it. You've got Moonblast, Psychic, and Petal Blizzard. Like, they're all as useful as one another. Just in different scenarios. I 100% think there is play for running Petal Blizzard Fortress, and I think that will fuck people right up.
Yeah, because they'll probably no shield the first a lot of the time, knowing they can live most moves.
Do you not think that's a Lucario moment?
No, I don't. I really don't.
Like Phil's just looking. Yeah.
No, I really listen. For Continentals last season.
Pub.
For Continentals last season, I for the longest time was doing practice games running Vine Whip, Disarming Voice, Petal Blizzard, Florges, and it was doing work. It beats things you want it to beat because it's a fairy type. Just by being a fairy type and Disarming Voice, like it gives you all the benefits of being if you're on Vine Whip and Petal Blizzard, which I think is a step too far in this instance, you go one or the other. But it gives you that grass coverage without being weak to all the flyers. I think it's fully legitimate. Probably Petal Blizzard more than Vine Whip now, given that Fairy Wind is as good as it is.
So if Jellicent has Surf, Petal Blizzard doesn't save Florges. You lose the zeros and ones.
Right.
The ones is insanely close. This is with Fairy Wind, so you would have to run double grass.
Double grass, okay.
Which means Jump Off just comes out with 100 energy.
Yes.
There's nothing saving you there. But yeah, it's nice coverage, right? You know, but given that I know I can live a Petal Blizzard now, I'd probably no shield the first regardless against Florges. But yeah, it's interesting. I mean, the electrics is the main thing that's going to beat you, right? If you are running Ice Beam. The Dene is too soft. Raichu takes super effective damage from Hex and Shadow Ball. And then there's Zapdos, which is also soft. I don't know about any other electrics knocking about Emolga.
And even the grasses, like if the main, I mean, there aren't many grasses, but Ice Beam there is nice. And Celebi, which I think is the best grass here, which says a lot, right? But about how the grasses are, but even that's weak to Hex and Shadow Ball as well, so that's not ideal either.
Yeah, exactly. So you've got really good coverage, you've got bulk. Defensively, Ghost Water is an insane typing. I mean, the poisons, was what, 4 of them? What is it? Swallow, Dragalge, Garbodor, and Arbok. The only one that can hit you super effectively is Arbok, and that's terrible because it's got Dragon Tail and there's Fairy everywhere. Swallow,
you say it's terrible. I think Arbok. This is the month for it to shine.
You lose to the Fairies. You've got to land a Gunk or a Sludge Wave running Dragon Tail.
And that's fine. That's fine.
Your bait move is Dark Hole. You run.
Yeah, but you're running 4 poison types. You know what I mean? So you're running them all.
It's atrocious.
Because no one wants to get fucked in the ass by Charm. You know, that's just generally the rule, isn't it?
Charm's bad. Just run something bulky and go down shields. You don't need switch against Charmers. If they burn both of their shields in the first matchup in this meta, they're losing. Especially if something comes in that can farm that Charmer down. Like Sea King.
Well, that's the thing. You're getting your poison damage from Sea King, so why not have some dragon damage from Arbok?
Go for it.
Hey, hang on, Dan. Why don't you run Bite or Acid Spray or Acid Arbok? There you go. There's your.
I'm just thinking, someone comes in with his big bad Guslow thinking I'm dead clever me, and then I was like, Arbok. Dead.
It's not a bad shout.
Dan, I don't suppose you fancy a role in the new Dodgeball movie, do you?
I don't know. I mean,
Do you know?
Sylph's over, so no one cares about the rankings anymore. If you're still caring about your Sylph ranking, well, you got issues, mate. You know what I mean? Let's just go out and have some fun. I don't care if you're in the top 50 in the world. Do you know what I mean? Let's just go out and smash it, and just like, do you know what? I'm just gonna run it for the hell of it because I like it.
And you know, I've heard about people talking about how good Swallow is here, right? It's a legitimate argument that Garbodor is going to be better because it's got Seed Bomb, and that's going to give Jellicent and the Mud Boys trouble. Like,
Garbodor's always been underrated.
Garbodor gets Body Slam as well.
Always been underrated.
Particularly if the meta revolves around what beats Swallow, then
yeah,
let's get it nicely.
Do you know what? You're just saying if the meta revolves around what beats Swallow. A couple of years ago, did you ever think you were going to be saying that?
I didn't. No. How we got to this? Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Matthew Buer, Metal Team.
Quite literally a swan song.
Okay, sorry, Jelly.
Yeah.
Go on.
It destroys the poisons unless they're running by Arbok.
Okay.
And outside of that, there's not much more. There's a lot of fairies knocking about. You know, could have Charm, could have Fairy Wind on some of them. You're neutral into all of them, bar Whimsicott, I think, or Wiggly, I guess. But I don't rate Wiggly here, given it probably loses to a lot of poison. It loses a lot of neutral. You know, there's a lot of bulk knocking about, especially like Grass Flyers, Azu. Azu's available, not even been mentioned yet.
Wait, what?
Yeah, Azu's available, yeah.
Yeah, rank 9. I think it looks awful. There's so many. Yeah, there's so many answers. I don't care how bulky it is.
No, but Azu's one of them. It's like it's a nice little safe swap in the sense that it just soaks up. Yeah, it soaks up so much that, you know, and can take shields from you. And if you're smart with your play with it, nobody wants to take a Hydro Pump to a face. You know, no matter what you are, you know, maybe Jellicent doesn't care, but you know, a lot of things don't want to take a Hydro Pump to the face, and then being hit by a bait, Ice Beam, and stuff like that, and having 2 back-to-back, and it kind of throws people.
It will have Ice Beam here, 100%.
Yeah, of course.
Grass.
And I think it makes Jelly makes a really nice core with Jump Off and Tropius as well. But I'm on that. I think when we talk about what the answers are to Jelly, we talk about the dark types, but normal types do the job as well. And yes, Swallow's high up there and Wigglytuff's high up there.
Yeah.
But if you look a little bit further down to around 46 in the rankings, you'll see a Rangaroo, which is about as good a Jelly counter as there is. And that's got the bulk, and that beats the Jump Fluffy Flyingy thing.
My favourite psychic.
There you go.
With its foul play.
Is it your favourite psychic? Really?
It is. Oh, more so than Hypno.
Yeah, but when you say psychic, are we talking psychic type? Because you're missing out on
type. Mystic Meg.
No, I was gonna say Mew. Something that is available here, Lugia, which is just Lugia. It's awesome. Do you know what I mean?
Same reason why Arbok's gonna be bad.
That's a good point. Yeah. You could run extra sensory on Lugia.
Oh yeah.
That's like a fire spin clone. That's not terrible.
Do you know what? We all used to run extra sensory on Lugia.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And we thought it was good. And we, you know,
I don't think it's terrible. I mean, it's one of them moves where if it was a 1-turn move rather than a 3-turn move, you'd be chuffed with it. Like, well,
Well, it's not. It's a 3-turn move, so you're not.
It's just bad.
I think it's usable, but anyway.
It doesn't beat Jumpluff.
But Lugia don't beat Jumpluff.
It loses to
yeah.
Jumpluff.
No way.
I'm not having that.
You've got to land an Aeroblast.
No.
I'm not having that.
Acrobatics is too good. You beat it with
I'm taking Energy Ball off Jumpluff, or I'm turning Bates off because that's no one's baiting that. Even Bates off.
Yep.
Surely not.
Yeah. Right person.
No. Lugia
can
wins in the
flank attack,
Lugia wins in the 2s.
Yeah, and probably the zeros where you land the Aeroblast, but you would lose the ones. The ones is probably more important. Right?
Oh shit, you do. And that's an issue for me. Who's
Do you know what?
Lugias
You
don't have
only
Aeroblast.
you use it. I've just taken Aeroblast off it to see what you lose by pubes in the ones. Like by pubes, do you know what I mean? You're not switching in a Jumpluff on it. So
Oh no, you're not going to switch Jumpluff in on any flyer. But if Jumpluff switches in, and then your only answer is Lugia, then you're in trouble. Because you lose the zeros if you don't land an Aeroblast. You lose the ones even if you do land like a Sky Attack because they outpace. Because I'm pretty sure in the ones it's CMP at the end. So they would just shield. Oh no, it's what? 2 Fairy Winds after your second Sky Attack is when they get their 3rd Acrobatics.
Do you know what I'm taking from this? Is that it's not the fairies that make the poison types good here, it's Jumpluff.
Yeah.
Jumpluff just beats everything.
The fairies are neutral into basically everything.
I'm now
Other than-
reconsidering my. I'm not going to run Jumpluff.
Yeah, but you could run Tropius, which will do similar things and also beat Jumpluff, right?
Yeah, Air Slashes.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. Oh wow, fuck you know. Even that loses those zeros and ones with straight aerial ace. Oh jeez.
Wait, Tropius loses to Jumpluff?
In the zeros and ones, straight aerial ace versus straight acrobatics, yeah.
That's just stupid.
Maybe it's an IVs thing. No, there's no break points or bulk points for anyone.
Man,
Oh,
I understand losing the zeros, but the ones is crazy.
Oh yeah, it's pubes, right?
Yeah, it's pubes. You've got 4 HP left on your Jumpluff.
Yeah, it depends how good your Jumpluff is, right? But this is with I'm looking at a max rank. Nobody's
I think-
Tropius is rank 1. Nobody's running a rank 1 Tropius.
I got a rank 3 Tropius.
That's
How's the CM? How's the mirror? Do you enjoy losing CMP?
Do you know what I've said to you this all along? If you're relying on in the mirror to win your things, then you've
Yeah.
already lost, mate.
Oh yeah,
You've already
for
lost.
sure. For sure.
Go back to your RPS school, mate.
just run Jumpluff, Sea King, and Florges and RPS all the way.
How to end Sylph on a fun note. Well, on a more fun note, let's move to you, Dan.
Yeah.
It's me. I thought it was you first, but I'll go first.
No, because my pick wildly somehow is the highest ranked on PV Poker of the lot of us. So we've been going in reverse PV Poker on here.
Okay. So Pokemon that means a lot to me, probably just because it's how I became friends with Matt, and it's the Poison Bag Pokemon, Swallow, and it's Pokedex number 0317. As we talked about earlier, it's good here, really, actually, in a really weird way. You don't even have to run Rock Smash or anything. It's actually just good. It's not amazing, but it's good, and it's bulky. It does win a lot of bulk and stuff like that. My notes there. And the main reason is doesn't shit the bed to charm. It's the last Sylph. Literally, that's what it means. Is doesn't shit the bed to charm. It's the last Sylph tournament, and do you know what? I've really enjoyed my time. For the majority, I just really don't want to go out, fucking charm, fucking bastard, fucking charm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm making sure my team is not going to be charmed down. Yeah. Another good thing is it beats Zapdos. So always good, because let's face it, beating Zapdos is always fun. Looking at numbers, it's a 0 shield mon. It's something you stick in the back, and you play most of your game with everything else, and you rely on the Swalot to come in and soak up the energy and just hit out moves quite hardly. Zeros, it's 58 against the closed meta, 62 against the wider meta against all Pokemon. Going into the ones, 55, 59, two shields, 50, 48. I've done me a little bit of a Mystic Gas, and I've gone on to the with one fast move, it goes up to 64%, and you start picking up Gliscor and Tapu Fini. 2 fast moves, 76%, you pick up Drifblim and Zweilous. 3 fast moves, it picks up Castform and Dragalge. But the really fantastic stats that I found out when doing my deep dive on Swalot, really fantastic stats, is if you are 2 shields to 0, you win 94% of the meta. And if you have 3 fast moves and you've got 2 shields and they've got 0, you win 100% of the meta. Game 1.
So fuck you, Wishcash. That's
fuck you, Wishcash. Fuck you, Wishcash. I've got 2 shields and I've got 3 infestations. I've just ended it.
9 turns plus 2 shields.
Boom! Thank you. Yeah, I think it's got actually quite a good. There's a good synergy in it with it for this month. I think there's some really nice ways of using it. You can pair it with something, for instance, like a Zapdos or an Achu or something like that, where you've got a big nuke move that's going to demand shields off your opponent straight away, and then having that in the back. I'm not saying doing that 2 shield strat because that's just stupid and made up, really. It's real. It's real. You can go and research it. It does exist, but it's not going to work. But getting your opponent into that position that they're using their shields, even if you're using yours, because chances are whatever's in the back is going to have a tough time with Swalot. So that's sort of the theory in it. It's, as I said, just above 50% of across the board. So, you know, you've got a strong enough matchup with everything. Ice Beam will be good here because you're going to be able to hit the jump pluffs and stuff like that. And Sludge Bomb's pretty nice as well because you're not going to shit the bed for the fairies. Infestation's rubbish.
You say you
got to defend it, Matt, but it's rubbish.
I'm not going to defend it. What I'm going to say though is Swalot's one of those mons, a bit like Azu, where because of its level of bulk, it's not one-shotting anything, but it's 2-shotting most things that you want it to 2-shot. But at least Infestation, so the fast move damage doesn't really matter with Swalot in its matchups because it's the 2 charge moves you're getting off which matter. So that fast move could do 0 damage and it wouldn't matter really for the most part. So at least Infestation's a fairly quick charging move. What is it, 4 energy per turn, I think? Like that's strong. That's what, Vine Whip, Powder Snow?
Yeah.
That's
just a bit more clunky, right? That's
I mean it's 3 turns,
fine
but
for a bulkier mon.
Yeah, exactly. It's fine for a bulkier mon.
I will say this about Swalot. Make sure you've got a good one or you lose to Azu. Just make sure it's a good Swalot or you'll lose to Azu in the one straight Ice Beam and you'll cry because you're a poison type that's just lost to a fairy.
Are you checking what rank yours, Matt, is?
Yeah, because I finally built one and I had 3 good ones and I didn't know whether to. I was going to build one that was like rank 2. Oh, game needs to fucking update for that. I was going to build the rank 200, which was high level, and I was like, oh, did I build the rank 5, which is level 2?
You want defense, right? You just want defense. It's a bubble break point.
So. Well, I think I built the rank 5, so I hope that's got the break point. Yeah. Phil, as a Quagsire user, you must be ecstatic that Swalot's getting all this attention.
Oh yeah, mine's a decent rank.
Oh, you're a Swalot fan as well?
Of course, he's a man with taste.
It's on my team for now.
Yeah, I was just checking. Yeah, my Swalot's have a good rank. So
come on, let's watch your rank. Matt's got a rank 5. I've got a rank 41.
All right, it's not
Aaron,
that
Aaron's got every rank known to man that meets every break point that ever existed for every single combination.
Mine will do. It's like 1, 10, 15. I've not put it through a checker, but yeah.
1, 10, 15.
Yeah. But yeah, Quag's sounding even better now. Cheers, Dan. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you do have to watch the Mud Boys with this. You do have to watch but that's what your rest of your team's for, really, isn't it? And are people keeping the Mud Boy in the back? Is that what you do with the Mud Boy? And
also, Ice Beam's not, dreadful there.
No.
Still hurts.
So can we make an argument for Garbodor then? Because is that the one with Seed Bomb?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what else does it get besides Seed Bomb? Does that get Ice Beam?
Garbodor gets Body Slam.
Shot, Sludge Wave.
Body Slam. What the heck? Right.
I think.
But again, it's Infestation. So it's got that.
No worse, is it?
Loses to Swallow.
Even with Body Slam?
Yeah. I mean,
Loses to Swallow.
It's not got the stats, has it? That's the problem.
No, that's a good point.
Much bulkier. But the thing is, you'll also one-shot most Mud Boys. Maybe Quag lives. Maybe.
I don't know. Like, what was I playing the other day? I think it was a draft game. And I got to a point, it was a game that, one of 3 matches where I just thought there's 0 chance I win this. It was against Clyde, and he had Wishcash and I had Tropius. And I got to the point where it was Tropius in the back versus his Wishcash, shields down. I thought, well, I've won this. He had a bit of energy, but I was going to get there first. The fucking Leaf Blade didn't kill the Wishcash. Stab Leaf Blade didn't kill the Wishcash. So I'm not convinced that a Grass Knot from Garbodor.
Seed Bomb's bad, right? Seed Bomb's bad.
Seed Bomb is really bad. It's probably
Thunder Punch, isn't it? Grass Punch.
Yeah, so you don't one-shot Quag. I'll check Whiscash. You definitely one-shot Swampert because that's super soft.
You don't? 75%.
Yeah, you don't one-shot Whiscash either. It's not the one. It's not the one.
Okay. I'd rather have Ice Beam on Swallow. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's a shit.
But it's going to be something that Garbodor is going to be something that people are not going to expect. And again, it is the last month of Sylph, so
They also won't know if they don't watch this.
who doesn't watch this?
Well, anyone who's
People
worth
lose a
battling
lot.
watches
People
this.
who like to lose.
You could double up. You could do ABB. You could use your Swallow use your Garbodor to do 50% or 75% of the Mud Boy. Farm it down with a Vine Whip, Florges, hit everything for unresisted Moonblasts and Disarming Voices. Clean up in the back with Swallow. There you go. There's your strat, everyone.
Sounds like a brilliant meta. Well done, Matt.
Do you know what though? Right, I could actually see somebody going into a tournament and that working for them. Granted, that person's called Ryan, and he was winning anyway.
Yeah.
It's that. Cool. Any thoughts on Swallow? Any further thoughts on Swallow? Other than it's a great mod, obviously.
It's an undervalued mon, and
People are
Swallow's a mon that Sylph's about.
Yes.
It's purple. It's sort of blobby. You know what I mean? It's got lips that look like it wants to kiss you. Going, and yeah, it's you never seen it on the Play Pokemon circuit. You're not playing GBL and someone's using it. And yeah, if you've never built one or never tried one, this is your opportunity to actually go out there and do it. All 4 of us have built one and tried one in the past, so but I think it's what this last month should be about, is enjoying yourself.
I would agree. On the subject of enjoying yourself, that's what my pick's all about.
Spark enjoy.
Spark enjoy. No, it's precisely that. It's Pokedex number 145. and it is Zapdos. I'm going to be quite straight. I'd say Dedenne is better than Zapdos here, in my opinion. However, if you think there's a chance that I'm not going to use Zapdos in the last performance of Sylph, where Zapdos is actually good, this is the best Zapdos has been in Sylph ever since it was. The last time Zapdos was this good was when it was running Charge Beam back in Jungle Cup, and that's that says a lot. It was running Charge Beam, and I used it then, and even with Charge Beam, it core broke Vigoroth, Noctowl, Forretress, Beedrill, Vespiquen, Venusaur. It beat them. It didn't beat two of them because Charge Beam was dreadful, but it beat them all 1-on-1. So it was beautiful in that way. But now it's got Thundershock. With Drill Peck and Thunderbolt, there's nothing that resists that here, apart from what Tyrant, and even Mudboys, right? Drill Peck's 2-shot in him. Maybe not Quagsire. Well, maybe not Wishcrash either. But it's a long way to get to a Blizzard.
Maybe not Swampert. Maybe not Marshtomp.
I promise you, it 2-shot Swampert. Like if you have all you need is like a two Thundershot lead and you'll beat Swampert in all evens, because given that you're not winning Shadow Ones, you can chew a Hydro Cannon. And relatively well, as in you're not getting Mudshot or Mudshot down, for want of a better term. You can do that. But it's kind of like, a lot of people use Cofagrigus as a safe swap this month. I've been using Haunter because I've been running Ice Punch, so I'm not walled by Shiftry. In fact, I can beat Shiftry. But it's kind of like using Haunter. Fine. You don't necessarily need to switch it into a good matchup. Switch it into anything, and something's going to take a lot of damage, and someone's going to potentially shield a move or do something stupid because they're panicked, and oh fuck, that person's going to do 800% to me with a Thunderbolt. Like, I've got a shield. It gets you back into games in bad situations, and in good situations, it's unplayable. Like, you've only got 2 shields, and if Zapdos gets to three charge moves, nothing's going to enjoy taking. Nothing.
Definitely scares off the jump off safe swap, because you can easily chew both its moves and you farm up and just dominate.
Yeah, and it deals with jump off giant cores as well, which is really nice.
Yeah.
The difficult thing about it is that, and this is the case with all electric types, right? Especially once they don't have full switch. Yeah, they're not really counters to water types, because electric types are always so frail and like made of paper, whereas water types are always bulky and can hit back. So I'm not saying it's a counter to Azumarill. I'm not saying it's a counter to Jellicent.
I was just about to say it loses to Azumarill. It does beat Jellicent.
Yeah, I'm sure it does. Surely it doesn't lose to Azumarill.
Yeah, it does.
But from a standing start?
Azumarill
0 and 1s.
Oh, fucking XL. But surely that's only if you got XL Azumarill, though.
Oh yeah,
who hasn't got an XL Azumarill at this point?
That's the person without an XL Azu.
But why would you waste dust on building an XL Mondex?
By actually playing the game.
Yeah.
In my defense, Matt, because I'm usually on your side with that. Because of what Azumarill was, I compare Azumarill to like Games of Thrones that I've never watched, because by the time I discovered what it was, everybody was like, "Oh, this is the best thing ever! Oh, Games of Thrones!" Oh. So I was like, "I'm not building an Azu. No, fuck off. It's too cool for school. I'm too cool for school." And then when I finally did, I actually built a really ridiculously good XL one. So yeah, that was just because I was that late to the party. Unlike you, who did build an Azu right at the beginning. And that's why yours is crap, Matt, because
it's a rank 1. It's a proper rank 1. None of this XL bullshit. It's a rank 1 level 40.
It's not a rank 1 anymore.
What are you waiting for? Great League Classic.
Listen, it wins CMP.
Still losing.
Again, but he loses on bulk, mate.
That only matters if you run Azu, and I'm never, ever going to run Azu. I hate it. It's too slow, too cumbersome. Shit. Terrible one.
Zapdos.
if it's not Excel.
Zapdos, you're saying Thunderbolt. Thunderbolt Drill Peck. I can see Drill Peck all day long. Very good, very good. What about its other moves? And so I played somebody, I won't say who, with a Zapdos in practicing, and they ran it with Ancient Power. I don't think Ancient Power is the play here, but
No,
what
it's not.
about Zap Cannon? Because you're still winning what you need to win. Your win percentage drops down by, say, like 10% or something, but you're not losing big matches. The Zap Cannon is enough that when you are in them positions, so you say you're up against a Azu, you've already lost that match. But if you hit in a Zap Cannon, suddenly you're weakening that Azu for the next thing coming in to be able to farm down. And that little percentage actually might make a difference, and Zap Cannon might be the...
Well, in that case, I'd be more inclined to say run Thunder, because the extra...
Does Thunder have the debuff,
No,
debuff chance?
It doesn't, but it's 4 turns quicker, and 4 turns is quite a lot these days.
Yeah, especially for Zapdos, which dies to like a slight breeze.
And actually, you get to the first Thunder and the first Thunderbolt at the same time. It's when you get to the second one that's it becomes problematic. And actually, if you run Thunder, you beat Mayazu in the ones. So that's
Zap Cannon's only useful against Azu if you get the bait, because they're shielding regardless, aren't they? And I think if you run something like that, you'll lose to Sea King because it'll just outpace.
I mean, you say that, but like,
are you losing to Sea King anyway?
Not if you bait with Drill Peck and then Thunderbolt. You're losing regardless if you run Zap Cannon.
And is Azu shielding? Because if you're the Azu player and you know you win the zeros, why do you shield the first one?
Sea King. Oh no, Sea King does lose the ones.
Yeah. But like, I'm pretty sure you can go straight Thunderbolt. Maybe it's relatively similar energy, right? You're getting there faster.
What? How much do you think? How much do you think a Hydro Cannon does percentage-wise to Zapdos from Swampert?
At least 70. At least.
Yeah, I was going to say it's probably going to be more. It's probably going to be like 80%.
Yeah.
And we'll go from a rank 1 Swampert, because most people have a good rank Swampert. 63%. It's bulkier than you. It's bulkier than you.
But is that a rank 1 Zapdos you're running?
No, that's 6, 14, 12. That's just the standard.
Yeah, fair enough.
And mine's better than that, I think. So yeah. Anyway, around 65%. So, and you're not getting much shut down. Like, this is the thing. It's one of those things. Same as Frostlass, similar boat, where one hit's not killing it, and it's got enough about it to get to 2 moves. And that's dangerous when it hits as hard as it does, regardless of what moves you want to stick on there. You're not getting to 2 Zap Cannons, but you will get to 2 of anything else for the most part. And that's what makes it so dangerous. And I think you lose that if you run Zap Cannon.
I also think in this meta there's so little fast move pressure outside of Charm and Confusion. Not much is doing like high amounts of fast move pressure. And if someone's running like high fast move pressure team, they're just going to lose to somebody who can manage their energy better. Because Charm is dead. Like, it's so bad right now. Poison's going to be on every team. Confusion has a lot of play here, but I think a Dark type hero there is going to stop people abusing Hypno to the levels that it could be if there were no Darks. So Zapdos is kind of safe from fast moves, which means it does look really good. The only problem will be is if it comes across the other electrics, because both of them are better here.
That's the issue. Yeah,
building
around that in a team has been difficult. That's what I've found.
Yeah, Alolan Raichu I was really considering talking about it because it's brilliant. But I know if Holmesy comes on at all, he's gonna crack out the Alolan Raichu like he always does.
No, Holmesy's K-Chew. I'm A-Chew.
He just runs any Raichu.
He did do that month where we went double chew, didn't he?
Yeah, exactly. But no, Raichu looks very good. I mean, there's nothing really walling it. All the best grasses are flying.
Don't you think Gliscor and Gligar are gonna?
They're not that great, right? They lose some ridiculous matchups.
I think both of them have nice play here. To be honest, I think having the Night Slash is nice coverage. Wing Attack is hurting enough stuff, and certainly with Gligar you've got return. So
Gligar is better, I think. If I had a good return one, I'd try it, but Gliscor's too soft. You lose to Tropius. Like, you lose to Tropius, Whiscash, things you should realistically be beating. They both do okay against Florges, but I'm assuming that's bait dependent given you've got Night Slash.
Yeah, that's the problem with Night Slash, with very heavy meta. Like, you've got to... It's a zeros mon more than it ever has been because you need to land the Earthquake.
Yeah, for sure.
Or the return.
I get what you mean, but if a Night Slash boost hits, you start getting...
Seamless.
Beautiful.
As if nothing's happened. Yeah. Okay.
We haven't had 20 minutes of just talking about crap.
No, definitely not.
The only way you could tell is the fact that Phil's beer's gone down to the end. No, I do think Gligar does have a place, though. I think because of the variants and stuff like that. Maybe that's because I hadn't been looking at Quag, to be honest. I might readdress that. But I was looking to having some kind of ground sort of coverage, but still being able to hit back at, the grassy flyers and things.
So Gligar, are we thinking return Gligar?
Yeah, 100%. I won't even think
nothing resisting normal, is it not?
Well, you got the ghosts, haven't you?
Oh yeah, of course. You got Jelly.
There's no
You've got
Steve.
Jelly.
Yeah, but then you got your Night Slash for that. So
yeah,
that's a nice little combo, huh?
I know it's a bit underwhelming as I'm on here, but I think to have that flying without being as weak to the electrics is good. And I think Dene, I think Zapdos, as we should be talking about Zapdos, I think they have got a place here. My worry is with the Dene is that are you going to make yourself too weak to the poisons, which Zapdos is less weak to the poisons, but overall better.
I think that tanky trade-off kind of helps. Your poisons aren't going to like a discharge. You know what I mean?
I think it's
probably going to knock everything out in two.
Most of the poisons aren't running poison fast moves either.
No.
Yeah, Arbok. No, especially when it's running bite.
At least it's not Dragon Tail. That's even worse.
Yeah, or Infestation. Oh.
Yeah, they've all got Dragon Tail or Infestation.
If we think Swallow is going to be the poison of choice, though, Zapdos not it's beating Zapdos, but it's beating Zapdos well as well. So that's kind of, it's just doing it in a different way. And the twos is close. The twos is really close.
Yeah.
And actually, do you know what? So Ice Beam does 81%, Sludge Bomb does 54%. So really, there's no reason not to go straight Ice Beam unless the shield's down. So you may as well. It's not even like going for those baits are risky.
Yeah. They're not the same energy.
No, Sludge Bomb's 50, Ice Beam's 55. So it's not even. Arguably, it's
with the amount of energy you're gathering, it's going to make very little difference.
Exactly. Yeah.
What do you think of the idea of not running a poison type?
I think that's completely legitimate. I'm not at all wedded to using Swallow. Would it, until
because seeking is going to be so good.
Seeking's going to be excellent, yeah.
And as we said about fast move damage and poison jabs, quite good, especially when you put it together with Icy Wind. And you've also got a drill run that it doesn't take that long to get to a drill run. It's it's quite cheap, really.
And it's a good move. Very good starter, very good ground type move.
So when you've got that Swiss Army knife in Seeking, do you think you could get away with not having a poison as long as you had enough bulk on the rest of your team?
Absolutely.
100%. 100%.
And there's no shortage of options for bulk. Either, but there's a lot of bulk around.
Well, I'm just thinking, we've talked about Jumpluff, we've talked about Quag. You know,
Jelly, we've talked about.
Azu, XL Azu, Matthew.
Oh, wow.
XL,
The Dene.
yeah, XL Rufflet,
What?
Yeah.
XL Rufflet.
Is that a thing? Right, okay.
Yeah.
That's legit. That it gets what Rock Tomb, Wing Attack,
Mm-hmm.
Bird.
Brave Bird.
Aloma Mola is
Oh,
around.
no, don't start with that. We don't want to see any of them
No, we don't.
at all. I'd rather see Charm because then they die quickly. That thing's a nightmare.
Yeah.
Mm.
I'd rather somebody ran Wob.
Well, this is the thing as well.
Oh,
Wob,
don't get Jan
DD.
excited.
Medicham are all available here. You know, do we think there's a place for a counter user? I mean, with Wob, you could potentially run it with Charm, but
Probably not. I mean, what are you running it for? Darks?
There's no need.
There's nothing that you hit. Like, I think this may be the meta where counter is absolutely resisted on 90% of teams. Especially if they've gone like Jumpluff, Ghost, Fairy. You know, you're just not hitting anything. There's no pressure.
But if you're thinking people say the meta shifts because everybody's using Hypno and suddenly Vilus becomes big.
Yeah.
And you don't want to go down the Charm route, you
Then
could potentially go down the counter route with
would be
something
very-
like, you know,
But you don't need to go down the Charm route here. You've got
Florges.
you've got Whimsicott, you've got the Dene.
Even Jumpluff beats it.
Yeah, there's no need to use Charming.
I think
That's
if
the whole
people
point.
think the only one you'd really want counter for is Guzzlord because that thing just tanks moves for days. You know, it's just pure bulk, isn't it? Really, with zero defense.
But even then, like it's not. Your fairies are handling it, and your Jumpluff's
sure.
handling that. It's
For sure.
okay.
I'm
Well-
gonna run an XL Drifloon anyway.
I was looking at XL Frillish. Run them both.
Run both.
Well, one gets
You see, I've got a Frillish as well, you know.
same.
Why?
Why not? I've built two XL Lilips. Why not?
Why not? I've got to be honest.
If
You
you're
know.
talking about having fun, you might as well just go XL in this meta and run Wilma, Drifloon, Chinchou, Trilly.
Chinchou could be really good, actually. You know, as an electric, it could be amazing.
If Jumpluff wasn't so good, yeah. If you come up against a team without Jumpluff, probably. The problem is it just doesn't get the same bulk as the other XL mons. But no, if you want to have a laugh, there's a hell of a lot of low tier in the terms of families. Like Pidgeotto's available.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now. You've got things like Tranquil, you've got
Murkrow,
Poliwhirl,
Ommanites.
Omanyte. Oh, that gets me.
Lombre.
I feel like that one.
I like Omanite. I've made my Omanite.
Run Execute.
Did you know? Frillish, XL Frillish is higher in the ranking than Arbok?
Doesn't surprise me. Doesn't surprise me in the slightest.
I mean, Rufflet's top 30, right? So is Wob.
Yeah, Rufflet is.
Spritzy.
Murkrow, Mantike.
Staravia. I've got a return Staravia. That's a shout. I mean, this is what you're hitting there, the electrics.
Oh, Corsola. I've got an XL Corsola, you know. I've had for ages.
I need to get shiny. I need to flip the shinies I've got.
Why would you run Corsola instead of
a Relicanth?
Or Archon. Not Archon. What's the turtle one?
Tartuga.
That one.
Tortuga.
Yeah, if that gets body.
He's
slam-
not thinking of Tortuga, he's thinking of the evolved one.
No, I'm not. I'm thinking of Tortuga.
Caracosta.
Yeah, I've got
Caracosta.
Caracosta. I've got Caracosta.
Fast move, right? Whereas Tortuga's Water Gun and Body Slam, Ancient Power Surf.
Yeah, exactly.
You should just have a lot of fun with this. I mean, you could run Ledian if you want, but it's bad.
Return Drowsy. You know, the list goes on. XL Axew with Scratch.
You could run Galarian Slowpoke.
That might actually
Poison. What, Poison Psychic, or is it pure Psychic? Can't
Well,
remember.
Did you know-
You can't run it if it's poison psychic.
It's pure Psychic.
Goldeen learns Mudshot.
Hey, so does Kingler. Mudshot X is a crab hammer.
Oh,
I've got one built.
Go on, Phil.
As soon as Crabhammer came out, it's like Jay was building Crawdon, and there's me building my bloody Kingler.
you know he's going to run Crawdon this month as well. Even with all the fairies about. Does it get an ice move?
No.
No.
It's going to be shit then, isn't it?
Yeah. But, you know, Crabhammer from a Crawdon just beats Hazu, so, you know.
Well,
pretty sure Crawdon beats Hazu. It's ridiculous.
given that this is the last episode ever, does anyone have any favourite moments that we want to reflect on?
First time me and you met, watching Richie win London's Finest Sinister.
That was a good moment.
And that bait that he pulled off, and there's me and you comparing the size of balls and talking about wheelbarrows. Yeah.
Oh yeah, what was it he said? He's taking his balls home in a wheelbarrow.
Oh, he needs a wheelbarrow for his balls. Yeah. For the size of his balls, he needs a wheelbarrow.
Richie would love that.
Yeah.
Love that comment.
Good lad, Richie.
Yeah.
That was a good day.
I tell you, it wasn't a great journey up. Aaron will confirm this, but I was throwing up on coach on my up.
This was when I was still a student, and I'd come out of a nightclub, had an hour's kip, and then gone to the train station to get the coach.
Yeah, you barely made the buses.
I was running through Leeds at 6 a.m. after leaving a nightclub at 4.
Yeah.
I was knackered.
Yeah.
It was a good day, a very, very good day.
Yeah.
So I think other moments would be like the other big lead ones, right? Like Toxic, I think it was.
Yes,
Yeah.
Great. That was a good month. That was a good. I think who won that one, Matthew? There was a few winners.
There was a few winners, weren't there, Phil? Yeah, you were on
there.
There
was myself, Ryan, Leo,
Rodwell, and Gillard, I think. Yeah.
That was a cracking day as well.
You kept bloody RPS in me with your Steelix.
You're still not giving.
Don't think I ever will, Phil. Come on.
You and your bloody Pidgeot. What are you doing? Why are you bringing Pidgeot against me, Matt?
You know what? It's a good point. I wouldn't do it now. Yeah. But I tell you what, that day I was running energy ball Galv in case I ran into a Steelix. So I was like, I forgot Pidgeot. I just don't want two things that are fucked by Steelix. And then in the last round, I faced a Scottish guy. What was his name? I think
Captain Charizard?
No. It's the one that has all the letters in a random order, sort of thing.
SRG?
No. Anyway, I forget. And he'd switched his pilot swine into my Galv, and you could see how you could see it in his face that he was happy.
Oh, no.
So I'm there, sort of tapping, and I'm just looking up, just see his face drop. That's the energy ball.
That was before it got the buff as well.
Yeah.
It got the buff mid-month, didn't it?
Yeah.
Before I beat you, Matthew, what did I say to you? What did I say to you? He says, "Oh, you had the right idea, putting the lower numbers on the comfy seats." and then he was gone.
Hey, I did it right. I was there for what? 4 rounds? 3 rounds, I think.
4 rounds, yeah. 4 rounds, yeah.
Yeah, I did it right. Yeah.
Yeah.
But then, my other favourite.
Rodri got you back. Got you. Repaid your favour. He was stupid Heracross into me worming on. Yeah.
He was something like 27th seed going into that tournament, and he was the last unbeaten player. Such was the level of competition. Like, it was crazy.
Brilliant.
I really enjoyed Rose Cup, and that was around the time when I was playing with the Sheffield Cup a lot, the Sheffield group a lot, and I played JKG James maybe 7 or 8 times that month, and I was just giving him hell with Golbat and Scrafty, to the point where he changed his moveset on Gligar to Aerial Ace specifically to take on Scrafty. And it got, we'd sit there and he'd ask me what I was leading, and I'd tell him honestly, and he knew I was telling him honestly, and he'd pick his lead to beat it, and he'd lose, and it was great. It was just the feel of frustration, but almost the sort of acknowledgement that it was just a good strat, right? And it's like when you come up with the Quillfish rat strat, like those are the moments that I look back at and think, where you get a bit of acknowledgement.
It's funny you say Rose Cup, because that's around about the time me and Dan like consolidated our friendship in terms of like Warrington, meeting up in Warrington, and, yeah, and we had Fusion, we had Rose, and we had a good winner. We had a good few, and we had a good few winners those cups as well.
Yeah, Phil, we did. You've got the badges to prove it, mate.
No. In all seriousness, though, those were class nights. I know it wasn't quite as big as, say, like the Leeds event or Sinister, but
we had, there was good people who came to them. There was Danny came to them. Alex came to them. Jay.
Alex came to Rose.
Yeah. Lewis. Callum Kalethnik. That's where we met Kalethnik.
It is, and I was like, who's this guy at top at rankings? He's never lost. And then he comes to us and gets humbled, and
his mum and his dog.
Because he was playing against, his granny's dog and somebody else from Flint, you know what I mean?
Colin Bear was Colin Bear,
Yeah, he was good, and we had, I think, Warrington, because it was that halfway between Liverpool and Manchester, you got a good little mix of it and stuff like that. So, Aaron, do you remember the first place I met you?
Gotta be Leeds, right?
Huddersfield.
Oh yeah, God, that was what season?
In a basement of a comic book shop.
Yeah, it will.
Do you know what I mean? With like no mobile signal at all. And I remember there playing Hossam Dali, and he made me sit back to back with him, so I wouldn't look at him while we were doing it.
Classic.
And then you had to turn around. You had to turn around when he was picking his teams to make sure he was still there, because he spent 3 minutes doing it. And you
it's not you. It's
you. But it still brought a lot of really happy memories. And I'm very, very lucky that I've had some fantastic times and seen some amusing things.
Even this season, alongside the play Pokemon stuff, like Liverpool, that was one of the best Silph tournaments I've ever played, because there were just so many people there that we all already knew, plus like players that came from around Europe that they've also joined that sort of UK community for that as well. It was just brilliant.
Well, hopefully something comes along and keeps it going and fills the void, and it's it's something we can look forward to again. Right? That's the hope, I guess.
Yeah, for sure.
I've said it before. Even if I have to do it with a notebook, I'm gonna keep Glasgow going, and you're all welcome to join us. We have a venue where we're gonna do it, and we're gonna keep going and keep having a laugh with each other, because more than anything, we're just having fun, So, as much as I'm gonna miss Silph, it's not the end of PvP, and it's not the end of Grassroots. Not by a very, very long shot.
Well,
but it is the end of chatting shit.
It is the end of chatting shit. Yeah. It's been many an episode. Like, I'm actually going to edit this one for the first time. What I'm going to do is and I can say this now because this is the end of the video, but at the beginning of the video, I'm going to do like in the Avengers Endgame, where they all come through the circles at the intro. I'm going to try and pull, and And you know what? I'll edit this out if I don't, so people will never know.
Yeah, Matt, if you can just get all my impressions over the years.
Oh, I'm not doing that, Phil.
Come on!
You can just do
Come
like
on!
a really bad crop of our faces and just add it to that scene if you want.
I've only got so much time. But obviously, yeah, in great shape. Got the locks.
Got the hair. Yeah.
Yeah. But so I'm going to do some sort of Avengers type intro. And the three of you can own to that, even when this gets deleted and I don't. So that's yeah. No, at the end of chatting shit, and it's been good, right? I didn't intend it through. It's been what it's become. I'm glad. I'm glad everyone's enjoyed being part of it as much as I've enjoyed sort of making it. So thank you all, and thanks to anyone watching and or listening who's been on it or even hosted it. There was that period where I couldn't be asked to host it very much.
I think on behalf of PvP, the community, thank you, Matthew, for putting this together.
No, it's been fantastic. It's been great. So yeah. All right. Well, I'm sure this won't be the last video. I'm sure we'll do something at some point for some reason. But yeah.
Musical video.
Musical.
You know me and Phil want to do it.
We want to sing. We want to dance. Yeah.
Let's make it
100%.
I'm in the process of planning my first trip back to England at the minute, so I'll let you know, and we'll get something sorted. All right. Cheers, guys. Thank you very much, and see you soon.
Orangaroo. In the jungle, the mighty jungle.